The Kahnawà Legislative Coordinating Commission is answering a need for an accelerated version of the community decision-making process in case of situations where legislation may have to be created in a more timely manner than normal. KLCC Coordinator Kahnawà Miller explains.
The urgent lawmaking process is a response to our need to develop the process further, the CDMP process further, to address laws that have to go through in a more timely fashion. Well, the matrimonial real interest law was actually the impetus to developing this process, because it is the first law that we've encountered that has a time sensitivity to it. So the bigger issue is that Canada is ready to impose its own law in our community on matrimonial real interests, and we as a community have the responsibility to develop our own law and implement that when the MRI law from Canada receives royal assent, which should be soon. And after that, we're given 1 year to develop our own law and implement it in our community.
What are some of the actual changes that are being looked at to make this a different process from the regular CDMP?
The regular CDMP is actually part of the urgent lawmaking process. It's just the beginning part that is the changed part, because in the beginning, you have to define whether a law is urgent or not. And that would be done first as a recommendation by the legal services when the law is categorized as a type 1 or type 2, or also as urgent. Then that recommendation is sent to Chief and Council and also brought to the community. So if it's a type 1 law, which is relevant to the entire community, the community decides, or are they in agreement that it's an urgent law and it needs to go through this process. If it's a type 2, then it's Chief and Council that would determine and agree whether it's an urgent law, and then it would go through the process. So it's really the beginning part where you have the changed part of the process, because after that, after the urgency is attached to a law, it is brought through the regular process, but in a more speedy, timely fashion.
What are we asking the community to do here?
We need the community to give their feedback. We've always said with these laws, these type 1 and type 2s, and now the urgent process, we want community's feedback on them. We want to know what the community thinks about this process. What are some of the things that we haven't considered that the community would like us to consider as we develop this process and put it in place? And that's what we're asking for, is either in writing, in person. We're actually going to be holding a kiosk again at the Community Services Building, where we will ask people to give their feedback on whether they like it, some of the changes, some of the things that we haven't considered. And they can do that either verbally with us at the kiosk, by phone, or in writing. And we're also doing a series of presentations to different organizations in the community. We'll be doing one at Step by Step, and we'll also be doing one at the Kahnawà Hospital. So we're also doing those as well, which will supplement that kiosk.